trading time so far in September. The market has been rocking. On Friday alone, it was amazing. We had Cura, we had Zumz, we had Nlnk, we had Saic as a short. We also had AYX. There's a lot of action going on now. The lull of August is over when everybody's on vacation, and it seems like the market is back in full force with the volume and the price action. I wanted to let you know that my meet and greet / book signing is all set up for Panikin Coffee out in Encinitas, Friday, September 29th from 5 to 7. They will be closing at 6. I spoke with the manager. He said we could still use the space, but if you guys want to bring food, go ahead and just bring it on over, because it's only pastries and coffee from 5 to 6. And then they'll be closing down, but we do have access to the space. So definitely come on out, come meet me. Love to talk stocks, how it can change your life. Also going to be obviously out in California for my talk with Trade Ideas about trading stocks, how I got into it, what it meant to me, and how I use their amazing tool. So the details are down below for that. You do hear my little one in the background. She's on the verge of crawling and in the midst of teething as well right now. So hopefully she'll be a little quiet. She's on a teether right now. So this week, like I said, amazing, amazing week. And, you know, I've been slowly trying to put together my morning watch list as an emailer, which with the little ones has been a bit tough. I'm trying to figure out the timing exactly, and I'm not going to launch it for you guys until it is perfect in my eyes. So I am taking feedback from my beta testers as far as what charts look better, when they would like to receive it, whether they'd like to receive it the night before or the morning of. I personally think that the morning of is more important because that has the stocks that are in action for the day. So that's what I do, and that's how I trade. I set up, you know, my watch list that morning. On Sundays, I do go ahead and do a watch list basically for the week of what I think will carry momentum going into Monday, into the trading day, which has been performing fairly well. And my watch lists in the morning, I mean, they've been rocking it. The people that have received the emails are loving it and profiting from it. So very, very happy about that. Just trying to get everything nailed down so that I can go ahead and release it with as little errors and flaws as possible. Right now my timing is off and I'm getting it done about 9:30, which I don't think is sufficient for people to make an educated decision on their own, looking at the charts and doing the research. So I want to get that out by about 9:10, 9:15, so you guys have time. Going into the week, we have some great ones that are coming up for longs. I do have Nlnk on the list as well. It has 19 million in the float. It was roughly 30% short, and then on Friday, 64% of the 31 million traded were short volume. So I would look for, you know, that 64% in that first amount. If it does continue downwards, I think it will have a nice downward trend as it is a lower float. However, if it does start to squeeze, I think you're going to start to see that roughly 15 million that are short or were short on Friday go ahead and start to cover. It does have room to go to the upside for sure, so definitely keep that on your watch. Support of 1760 and resistance of 1930. I did have that on my emailer watch list earlier this week, and man, did it perform. We also have Zumz, Z-U-M-Z, 18 million in the short, support of 1585 and resistance of 1640. CONN, I had that on my watch list from last week as well, 19 million in the float. You'll see on the chart that it did break that resistance and it went up $3. So there is more of the move, I think, available, as it does have a fairly high short float volume. Then we have ZGNX. That does have 16 million in the float, a support of 16 and a resistance of 1640. It was roughly 50% short volume on Friday, and it did have 1.24 million traded on Friday. So watch that. It could easily break out, and I think the next level, if it were to squeeze, would be close to 20 at about 1945, that it would see the next level of resistance. MAC as well looks like a nice potential upward move if the momentum continues. Support of 1370 and a resistance of 1430. Onto the short list, we do have RH, Restoration Hardware. That did have a large short float volume to it. It had good earnings. It went ahead, it spiked up, almost went to 80 and then pulled back. So it looks like it is in a downward motion now after closing out the earnings. So support of 69.80 and a resistance of 72. If it does break that support, I think it could go down to 66, onto 60, and then down to 50. So it does, I am more short biased on this stock than I would be long biased. Saic with a support of 60.80 and a resistance of 62.05. Looking back on a 5-year chart, it does look like it's at a support level, and if it does break down below that 60.80 or 61, it looks like it could continue down to 55.75. HBM, Hudson Bay, which is a retailer up here in Canada. As we know, retailers have been getting killed with Amazon. Well, no issues there with, the same issues there with Hudson Bay, in that they're feeling the pinch as a retailer that's in the malls. You know, they're one of the anchor stores like a Sears or Macy's. And it looks like the support of 7.80 and a resistance of $8. If you look back on the 5-year chart, it does look like it could go down to 5.75. First down to 7, 5.75, and then on down to 4 if it were to really have a large downward trend to it. UTHR, support of 119.95 and a resistance of 121.15. If it were to continue down on the short side, it does look like it would go all the way down to 101 before it would have a bounce to it. MDXG with support of 14.05 and a resistance of 14.60. I think that the next levels down would be 13 and then down to 10 for supports. And UCTT, it has had, looks like a double top, slowly failing and fading with a support of 22 and a resistance of 22.35. For my oversold bounce swing potential trades, I would say keep on watch BCRH. I do think Sarepta might have a bounce to it. However, it could definitely fail further from here. Cheesecake Factory as well. CAKE, NWL, and THS. As always, guys, carpe profit, seize those profits one at a time. If you don't already, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Definitely do, and check out my blog and my book site.